Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you are watching this video, let me welcome you all to our channel Future Endeavors. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about some terms which are related to reflection of light. In the previous class, we have discussed about what is reflection, what are its types, regular and irregular reflection, and the reason behind seeing objects around us, which is actually irregular reflection. So today we are going to discuss some terms related to this reflection. Now let me first of all draw a diagram. If we consider a plane on which, say, the light rays, or rather consider only one light ray, comes and fall. Okay, so imagine this is a surface. This is a surface on which light ray is coming and falling. Fine. So during reflection, something like this happens, that a light ray comes. Okay, so it comes like this. Okay, it hits the reflecting surface at certain point, and we can consider at this point a perpendicular, a imaginary perpendicular. Okay, imaginary perpendicular, and from this point the light ray gets reflected back, okay, or bounces back. So something like this happens. Okay, here the light ray that is coming and hitting the plane makes a certain angle with this perpendicular line, and the light that is going out also makes a certain angle with this perpendicular line, imaginary perpendicular line. Okay, now let me come to the terms one by one. So first of all, we are going to discuss about incident ray. So what is incident ray? So first term that comes in our mind is incident ray. So you can very easily define incident ray as how? Incident ray. Now this is the ray of light that is coming and is falling on the reflecting surface. Okay, so here the reflecting surface is the red colored line, denoted by the red colored line. Basically it's a plane. You can consider this to be a plane. Say if I consider my hand to be a plane, okay, or like this. Okay, so this is something like this kind of plane. Okay, this kind of plane. So the incident light is coming and falling onto this plane. Okay, fine. So incident ray, how can I define it? If you want, you can also note it down. The light ray which is coming and falling onto the on the reflecting surface is called the incident ray. Okay, fine. Next comes the second point, is the reflected ray. Incident ray, second point is reflected ray. Now what is this reflected ray? Okay, what is this reflected ray? Now reflected ray is something, the light, blue light, ray of light marked by the blue color which is going out. So the light ray which bounces back after striking the reflecting surface and goes back in the same medium is called the reflected ray. Fine. Then third comes the point of incidence. Point of incidence. So what is this point of incidence? This point of incidence is actually the point in the figure which is denoted by the letter, say, P. Okay, this point P. This point is denoted as a point of incidence. So how can I define point of incidence? It is a point on the reflecting surface at which the incident light ray falls. So it's a point on the reflecting surface at which the incident light falls. Fourth definition is the normal. Normal at the point of incidence. So what is the normal at the point of incidence? It's an imaginary perpendicular line drawn at the point of incidence. Imaginary perpendicular line drawn at the point of incidence. So this is the line marked with green. color is the normal. So if I just mark it out, say consider this line to be Q, PQ. So PQ is the normal. Okay, fine. And say the incident light ray here is denoted by the A, and then when it goes out here it is denoted by B. Okay, so incident light ray in the figure, one figure can be written as this AP, line AP. Okay, the reflected light is the ray PB or the line PB. Point of incidence is P. Point of incidence is P. Point of incidence is P. Okay, and normal the point of incidence is the line QP. Is the line QP. Okay, QP. Fine. Now, fifth point that comes is the angle of incidence. Fifth point that comes is the angle of incidence. So, fifth point is the angle of incidence. Now, see, the incident ray is making a certain angle with the normal, isn't it? The line QP. So, the angle made by the line AP with the line QP can be regarded as the angle of incidence, marked by the black colored angle. Okay. So, how can I define angle of incidence? The angle made by the incident ray with the normal is called the angle of incidence. Next comes the sixth point. Sixth point is the angle of reflection. Angle of reflection. Okay, so angle of reflection. What is the angle of reflection? Now, the angle made by the reflected ray with the normal is called the angle of reflection. So here, angle of incidence is APQ. Angle of incidence is angle APQ, whereas the angle of reflection is angle QPB. QPB. So this is the angle of reflection and this is the angle of incidence. Okay. So I think the definitions are clear and the terminologies are okay. And what is the red colored line called as? It can be regarded as the plane of incidence or the plane of reflection. Plane of incidence or the plane of reflection. As I have already said, this is a plane on which light is falling, getting hit. It is hitting the surface and getting or bouncing back. Is called the that plane is called the plane of incidence or the plane of reflection. Okay. So if you have any doubt, please pause the video, move back a clip and see the definitions once again. It will be clear. Now, next thing that we are going to discuss is the law of reflection. There are two laws of reflection. So what are those two laws? Let us come to the laws of reflection. Okay. So I am just erasing it off. If I am not finished writing or drawing, pause the video and finish the note making process. Okay, fine. So next topic is our laws of reflection. Laws of reflection. So there are some laws that we get regarding the process of reflection. Actually, these laws are the phenomenon of reflection is observed properly, and then some conclusions are drawn, some general theories are drawn, and these general theories or conclusions can be regarded as the laws of reflection. Okay, so what are the laws of reflection? First of all, the first law is, it says something like this: incident ray, reflected ray, and the normal at the point of incidence. This is very important. If you don't mention where the normal, which normal is considered, any perpendicular line can be regarded as normal. Yes, but here we are considering the normal at the point of incidence only. Okay, so normal at the point of incidence all lie in same plane. all lie in same plane. So these are the two things that you have to, this is the first law that you must remember. Incident ray, reflected ray and normal at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. Now which plane is regarded? Which plane is regarded? Can you think that which plane I am talking of? Is my hand, the plane denoted by my hand, is that plane this same plane denoted as the same plane? No, it is not. When we are talking of that all lie in the same plane, here the plane is indicating the plane along which the incident light is falling and along which the reflected light is going out. Okay, so here in this part of this particular diagram that I have demonstrated, the plane, here the plane is the board, is the white board. Because see, the incident light ray is coming along this board. Okay, we have drawn the normal along this board and the reflected light is going out along this board. Okay, so when we are saying that all lie in the same plane, so that same plane is actually the plane which is perpendicular to the reflecting plane or the incident plane. Okay, so this plane, basically this plane, it is perpendicular. This sign is for perpendicular. Is perpendicular to plane of incidence. Remember, very important point, perpendicular to the plane of incidence. Fine. So what is the second law? I hope the first law is clear. What is the second law? The second law, what does the second law states? The second law states that whenever there is some kind of reflection, the angle of incidence, here the angle of incidence, this angle of incidence, that is APQ denoted by letter I, and the angle of reflection QPB denoted by letter R, this angle of incidence and angle of reflection are always equal for any kind of reflection, be it regular or irregular reflection. So second point is the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection, to the angle of reflection, that is angle I will be equal to angle R, and this is valid for any kind of reflection, be it regular reflection or be it irregular reflection. For a pair of ray, that is the incident ray and the reflected ray, this law always holds true. So the angle of incidence and the angle of reflection are equal. It's always equal for any kind of reflection. Okay. So with this, today we will end our class here. Please do mention if you have any query in the comment box, in the comment section. We will be happy to solve your problem. Okay, in the next class we will continue from here. We will see how an image is formed due to a point object or due to an extended object, and we will also discuss about the virtual and real image. Okay, so these are the next topics that we are going to discuss. Till then, please do study well. Have a good day. Thank you.